Hi, everyone. Have you ever noticed when your students log into Clever that your name is at the top of their page and it says John Doe's page here under this heading of teacher pages? Today, I'd like to show you guys how you can create your page that will have all of the applications that your students would regularly use all in one place. So let's go ahead and get started. Here I have my teacher account. I have logged into Clever through my teacher account, and I am in demo school here. When I log in, it takes me to a page called resources. On this page, I can see that all of the resources that were added by my district are here. So I have this link to Savas. I have the apps McGraw-Hill and TCI. Those are my single sign-on. And then I have this category down here that says added by me, but I don't have anything down there yet. Today, we're going to add a couple of things there. Okay, now that we're here, let me show you where you can access your teacher pages. Over here on the left-hand side is a spot that says Pages. When I click on that, it's going to drop down to a number of different options for me, and I'm going to find the option that says My Teacher Pages. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and that's going to take me to the pages that are all set up for me. Now, generally, we have two pages that are our default pages. So we have our page that's shared with our students, and then we have another page that is shared for resources that are just for me. So you'll see it says all students here or only you. At any time, you can change these. You can change it by clicking on the word all students, and then you can just put it into one or more of your classes, or you can change it to only you. And when you get really, a good page and you want to share it with your fellow teachers, you can go ahead and share it this way as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and keep it as all students I teach. All right, so let's go ahead and add some of our resources. So I'm going to come back to my resources page. You can do this from really anywhere, but I like to do it on resources page because then I can see where it pops up immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and click on resources. And the first thing I'm going to add is Kahoot. So I'm going to come up here to my search bar and I'm going to go ahead and type in the word Kahoot. And when I type in Kahoot, I'm going to find it in my list here. If you don't see the app you're looking for in the list, then it doesn't pair with Clever and you can't use it. But I do have the access to Kahoot, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Kahoot, and it's going to take me to the Kahoot page, the info page. I could read through it all I want, but really what I'm looking for is this button over here on the right-hand side that is called Install. I'm going to go ahead and click on the button that says Install. It's going to ask me which of my teacher pages do I want it to land on. So I can have it land on my main page, or I can have it land on the page for just for me. I want my students to have access to this, so I'm going to make sure it lands on J Doe's page. All right, I'm going to go ahead and click allow and continue. And what that's going to do is actually going to log me into Kahoot. But at this point, if I'm not ready to play a Kahoot or anything like that, I could exit out of this tab and come back to my resources page. And when I look at my resources and I scroll all the way down to the section that was added by me, I will now see Kahoot. But this is not the only place that this lives. You are now going to find it under Pages, My Teacher Pages, and under John Doe's page. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this to open up this page. And you'll see that I have the Kahoot app here. And since it is here, that means my students will also have access to it. Now, at this point with this, I don't want it to be under the tab or under the section, the category newly added. What I want to do is I want to make this a category that my students will understand what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and put quiz games here because maybe I'll put in, I don't know, quizzes later or something like that. So quiz games, and now it's under that category. So you can edit these, and I, at this point, can edit this up here if I would like to. I can make this say, it says John Doe's page, but I can say, they call me Mr. Doe, so I'm going to make sure it says Mr. Doe's page. Or it could be like room 8 or, whatever you want it to be. So, and you can also change the picture as well. All right, so that is Kahoot here. Now, I do want my students to also be able to click on my page and find McGraw-Hill. I know they can find it in their resources page, but I'm trying to gather all of my things into one spot, like a one-stop shop for my students. So I'm going to add McGraw-Hill to this page as well. So here's how I'm going to do that. I could go up here and do a search, but I already have it downloaded. So I'm going to come back to my resources page, and I'm going to scroll down to McGraw-Hill, and I'm going to click on these three dots right here. When I click on the three dots, I have this option, open for students. I don't want to do that yet, but add to teacher page. That is the one that I am looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and click on add to teacher page, and it's going to ask me, which page do you want it to go to? And I want it to go to Mr. Doe's page. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on, oh, which category? I do not want this to be in my quiz games category. I have a category set up for ELA. I'm going to go ahead and click on ELA, and I'm going to add that. And now when I go back to that teacher page, Mr. Doe's page, you will see I have quiz games, Kahoot, and underneath that, I have ELA, McGraw-Hill. Now let's say McGraw-Hill's one I wanted to be on top. I can absolutely, let me get rid of this. I can absolutely just click this arrow here on the right-hand side, and it's going to move ELA to top, and quiz game's going to be underneath that. So you can order it however you would like it to be ordered. All right, so then what does that look like for my students? So I have this all set up. I've got my ELA category, I got my quiz games category. My students can log into McGraw-Hill, they can go into Kahoot real quick from this one-stop shop. So let's see what that looks like for our students. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my student here, Miss Goslin Mallard, and we're gonna go ahead and click on John Doe's page. So this is where you would instruct your students. Anytime you go to Clever, click on My Page to find the things that you are looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and click on John Doe's page, and I can see now I have McGraw-Hill. If I am a student, I can click on this, and it's going to do a single sign-on for me, and I'm going to log straight into McGraw-Hill. And with Kahoot, when I click on this one, it's not actually going to log me in because I'm a student, but I'll show you when I click on Kahoot, it's going to take me to this the screen for the game pin, right? And then this is where your students would put in the game pin for whatever the quiz is for that day. All right, so that's what it would look like for the student. There is no limit to how many apps or how many categories you would have. So if you want to keep going, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my page. If you wanted to keep going and keep adding resources, you can. Let's say I wanted to add quizzes. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to install that one. And it's going to, again, ask me which page do I want it to go to. I'm going to allow and continue. And again, it's going to log me straight in. I don't need to be logged in. I just needed to add it to my page. So when I click on this page again, my teacher pages, I have this here where I can click on it. And now I have, again, under newly added. I don't want this to be under newly added, so I'm going to change where it goes. So I'm going to hit edit, and I'm going to send it to a different category. I want to put it in my quiz games category. So I'm going to go ahead and hit update now, and you'll see I have it under ELA, and I have it here now in quiz games. And my students will see that again right away. Now, on this page, I can also add not just apps, but I can add links, I can add PDFs, I can add things for my students, other resources. And here's where you would find to do that. So at the top of your page, you will find this button that says More Page Actions. And if you had a specific website that you wanted students to go to, you would click on More Page Actions, and you would come down here to Add Link. And what you can do when you click on Add Link is you can actually put in the link. Let's say I wanted my students to do some background work on the Dodgers. I could put in www.dodgers.com, and then I can title this Dodgers. I can put it in the category of, we'll do ELA, and then I can upload my own icon for it, or I can use any of their icons. So I'm going to click on this checkbox here. I'm going to add link, and now you will see on your page under ELA that link to the website I wanted them to visit. I'm going to get rid of this. So let's see what that looks like for the student. I'm going to go ahead and click on the student's page here. And when I open that up, I've got Mr. Doe's page. They must click into that to get started. And now you'll see I have the ELA, I've got McGraw-Hill, and my link to Dodgers.com. So when they click on this link, it's going to take them straight to Dodgers.com, and they can do all of the research that I asked them to do about the Dodgers. All right, and that's how to add apps and links and all the things that you want your students to be doing digitally onto the Clever platform under your teacher page. All right, I hope that helps. Have a great day.